Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy. Good morning, Cappuccino.
Good morning.
And good morning, Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the hood whisperer, Teslin Figaro.
Now let's jump right into sports. Now, over the weekend, NFL Falcons beat the Buccaneers, Browns beat the Colts, the Bears beat the Raiders, my New York Giants beat them Commanders, Ravens beat the Lions, Seahawks beat the Cardinals, Patriots beat the Bills, Steelers beat the Rams, the Chiefs beat the Chargers, the Eagles beat the Dolphins, and the Broncos beat the Packers. Tonight, the 49ers take on the Vikings at 8:15. Now, where we starting with, Tez?
Yeah, let's start with Representative Jim Jordan. So we've been covering the Speaker of the House, how we do not have a Speaker of the House. The Republicans are in control, majority control, and they have ousted the Speaker of the House. So I wanted to give you a quick update on that. Jim Jordan, I think I reported last week that he said he was going to stay in no matter what, but he did drop out on Friday after he lost a vote of confidence. They had a closed-door meeting with the Republicans just moments after the Donald Trump-backed candidate was defeated on the House floor for a third consecutive time. The internal secret ballot was 86 Republicans for Jordan, 112 against him, saying, hey, we need you to kind of fall back. We want somebody else. So he was quite embarrassed by that. This is what the former speaker, Kevin McCarthy, had to say. And then when we come back, I want to give you some other information.
Well, it's embarrassing. And you've got to understand why we are here. 8 Republicans led by Gates have created this chaos by joining every single Democrat in voting to shut down one branch of government. Look, I would do the exact same thing again. Could you imagine if we were having this discussion right now with the American government shut down, with our troops in the Middle East, wondering when they'll ever get paid again? Keeping the government open was the right decision to make, and I'd make it again each and every day.
Tez, you got to tell me something.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, what happens when there is no Speaker of the House?
Right.
Why is
that's why it's such a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Well, this is the first time, just for clarity, this has ever happened in the 234-year history of actually having Congress. They've never ever put a Speaker of the House out. Right now they have a temporary person, a Republican, Patrick McHenry. He's filling in temporarily, but there's no presidents. There's nothing to show, like, what do we do if this actually happens? How do we move? So Representative Graves, among many others, also said the House of Representatives is basically frozen. They cannot advance legislation and refer any bills to the committee. So basically they're just sitting there. It's just like, just sitting, nothing really happening. And it's a mess, bottom line, it's a mess. And now you have billions of dollars that obviously, they're talking about sending and have sent to Ukraine, billions of dollars they're talking about, sending in addition to what's going on in Israel. Obviously, we're in the middle of a pause on the government shutdown and everyday things that need to happen here. And Republicans can't get it together. They're blaming Democrats. I'm sure you saw that, Charlamagne. So it's just a big mess. I want to play quickly what Liz Cheney had to say, and then I want to get your feedback on that.
Look, I think what you're seeing right now among the Republicans in the House is a direct result of the decisions that Kevin McCarthy made to embrace Donald Trump, to embrace the most radical and extreme members of our party, to elevate them. So it's not a surprise that we are where we are, but it's a disgrace and it's an embarrassment.
Yeah, can't nobody else speak for the House except for the interim speaker? What's wrong with everybody else's mouth?
What you said? Can anybody speak? Can't
nobody else speak for the House except for the interim speaker?
Well, I guess they're basically saying, everybody's saying it's just a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just a mess.
Seems
Nobody.
like a hot mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a hot mess, and they're blaming Democrats. And again, I go pretty hard on Democrats, but I appreciate Democrats saying they pulled a U on you with the Republicans. It wasn't up to them to save the Republicans. Republicans set up here and allowed these eight Republicans to basically pimp them, and put McCarthy out, and they didn't have a backup plan, Charlamagne. So it's just sitting there. Republicans have to figure out who they want to be their leader. It's not about Democrats saving them, because they certainly wouldn't be saving Democrats, and they need to figure it out on how they're going to move forward. But it's embarrassing, and it's really embarrassing to the world, because here they're trying to intervene in foreign policy and can't even figure out what's going on in our own House of Representatives.
All right, well, that is front page news. We'll see you in a couple minutes, Tez. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Let us know how your weekend was. Good or bad, talk to us. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest co-host with us this morning, Cappuccino.
Good morning.
From Power 99 out in Philly. Let's get in some front page news. What up, Tez?
What's going on, DJ Envy? Good morning, Cappuccino and Charlamagne God.
Peace, Taz.
Let's jump right into some quick sports. The Falcons beat the Buccaneers. Browns beat the Colts. Bears beat the Raiders. My Giants beat the Commanders. Ravens beat the Lions. Seahawks beat the Cardinals. Patriots beat the Bills. The Steelers beat the Rams. Chiefs beat the Chargers. Eagles beat the Dolphins. Broncos beat the Packers. And tonight, the 49ers take on the Vikings at 8:15 in Minnesota.
And the Cowboys didn't lose this weekend. Just want y'all to know that.
No, you had a bye week, and so did the Jets. All right, well, let's jump right into it now. People are saying more Black Americans are considering adopting.
Yes, I thought this was a good article that I ran across. You know, you talked a lot on this radio about parenting and, who has the ability to still parent. And we don't talk enough about adoption. You know, there's more than one path to being a parent, and adoption is one. And this study came out, it was on Black Enterprise, that we talked about. A new research conducted by Kids Save International and Gallup showed that Black Americans have a desire to be foster parents, but have been reluctant to going through the process due to racial discrimination in the foster care system. Now, the research shows that 1 in 3 Black Americans have thought a lot about it, and have also thought about fostering, which is 10% higher than the average racial groups. 25% of Black adults have even seriously considered adoption or getting involved in some type of program to work with foster kids. Now, Black minors only account for 14% of the U.S. population, but 22% are in foster care, and they're least likely to be adopted when compared to white children. And the new research has exposed a severe need for Black care providers. They have said that Black Americans express a greater distrust in the foster care system than adults from other races, and they face concerns regarding age, stage of life, and finances. So if you are looking to adopt, they also say that the statistics show that when Black parents adopt Black children or foster them, it positively impacts the child's life, and they suggest more organizations get involved to recruit more parents.
Growing up, I knew quite a few kids that were adopted. Like, we never knew until someone said something about it, but I got cousins who were adopted, and, they just family. Like, it's not about what bloodline you come from. It's just about who raised you. Like, I never even when we found out they were adopted, it's like, okay. Yeah. We all came up together. It was, it wasn't a thing.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's like once you're in the family, your last name has changed. You're ours
right.
now. You're ours.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something, we've talked a lot about, especially women. We've had those conversations here. Ebony K. Wiz, I've talked to her about this, where she's talked about, freezing eggs and, the path to parenthood. And I just wanted folks to know, there's a lot of Black kids out there that are looking, for good homes. Mm-hmm. And so let's try, if you want to consider being a parent, consider that as well. I know people want natural birth. I had my child natural birth as well. So I don't want to minimize that, but there's a lot of good kids out there that certainly could use great parents. Yep. All right. Would you adopt, Charlamagne, Envy? Y'all got enough kids. But
yeah, I ain't got no reason to adopt. I got 4 now. Adopt 4, I'm adopt 4. Like, no disrespect to the young orphans out there, but I'm good. I got a house full now.
Yeah, if
we closed.
But I'm closed now too. I got 6. But if me and my wife couldn't have kids for whatever reason, we would adopt. I think we would adopt. Absolutely, positively.
I think I want to do it. I think I definitely want to do it. And I don't know if it's because I'm going through, because my daughter's 16 and I'm going through the phase where your little one is becoming older, but I definitely, if, at the very least, I would do foster. And again, we talked a lot about with freezing eggs and how that's an option only for people that have a lot of money. And again, fostering actually pays you, so these are options, that people can have that won't cost them a lot of money. And I just hope folks kind of look into it as something, as a secondary option.
I know fostering pay you.
Yeah, they pay you to be a foster parent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Take care of some of your bills and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately,
some people have abused that.
Right.
We want to put that out there too. Some people have abused that, and have multiple foster kids, and they do it for the check.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cappuccino. You got some thoughts on that?
I was about to say the same thing. Unfortunately, some people misuse it, and the thing is with the foster, the child is not guaranteed to stay at that house. With adoption, that child is technically yours. So.
All right. Well, let's talk about the talks between the studios for our actors.
Yeah, we covered this last week. Just wanted to give another update that tomorrow they will restart negotiations again with the actors. Negotiations between the media companies and the union representing the striking U.S. actors will start. The two sides said in a joint statement Saturday. Talks broke down last week as one side clashed over the streaming revenue, which they should, be talking about how to get that streaming revenue, and the use of AI. The strike has disrupted film and television production, leaving thousands of crew members without work, as well as actors. I covered that story on last week. Now how actors are going back into the restaurant industry. So the members of SAG, which represent 160,000 actors and other media professionals, have been on strike since July, and they're looking to cut a deal. So shout out to them. And can I just give a shout out to our brother Deon Taylor, who's been out there with, he's obviously, film director, film producer, distributes his own movies through Hidden Empire. And he's one of the few that I have seen who's actually coming from the director side of things and the production side of things, that have actually been out there with those workers. And I know, that's a big risk for him, to do that. So shout out to him as well.
Salute to my guy, Deon.
Shout out to Deon. All right. Well, that is your front page news. Thank you, Tiz.
Absolutely.
And make sure you subscribe to Tesla and Figaro's podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and follow at Tesla and Figaro on all social media platforms.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.